Now to the culmination of a nearly 2-month-long trial involving more than 200 pieces of evidence and dozens of witnesses. A jury of her peers found Michelle Troconis guilty on all 6 counts. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has been on the case since day one and has the very latest.
After just over 2 full days of deliberations with an extra hour and a half today, the jury reached a unanimous decision finding Michelle Troconis guilty on all counts in connection to the death of Jennifer Farber-Dulos. Now, the emotions in the courtroom were palpable as the decision came down, with Michelle putting her head in her hands. The jury finding Michelle guilty on all charges, including conspiracy to commit murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit tampering with physical evidence, 2 counts of tampering with physical evidence, and hindering prosecution. Now, before being taken out of the courtroom in handcuffs, prosecutors pleaded with the judge to revoke Troconis' right to bail out, or at least double her bail. Now, the judge, answering the call, set it at $6 million. Now, defense attorney John Schoenhorn says he's getting ready to make his next legal move to reverse a decision he feels the jury got wrong.
Truly disappointed in this verdict. I don't believe that this was the correct verdict. I'm not going to criticize this jury that sat through 6-7 weeks of evidence and reached their determination.
Now, as for Troconis, Schoenhorn says she will not be bailing out tonight, so she will be staying the night at the York Correctional Institution in Niantic. We are in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Julia, thank you. Joining us now to talk more about today's verdict from a legal perspective is defense lawyer Jim Bergen of Shipman and Goodwin in Hartford. Jim, we appreciate your time as always. So a lot of people have their own personal opinions about what Fotis would have told Michelle and what Michelle should have known when they were driving around that day, or what maybe she shouldn't have known. Those are all personal opinions. This was a court of law. So what did this hinge on from a strictly legal perspective?
Well, it hinged on the fact that they did have a lot of pieces of evidence when you add them all up. Just the way Sean McGinnis said it in his rebuttal argument, it does allow that inference that she had to know. And really, it's because there was an unfortunate failure to get the jury to appreciate her mental perspective going in, so that even though all 30 of these points were very, very good points and do allow this inference, they are not the points that someone has when they know him to be only this guy who loves kids and chose her. On the other hand, you know, that's what the process is about. We have a very, very good process, and it's unfortunate because it doesn't do anything about Jennifer. It does validate the police. They did extraordinarily good work, and it's over.
So John Schoenhorn has said he plans to appeal. Yes. We had heard from him earlier in this newscast in which he said there are so many problems with this trial and with the prosecution that he didn't even know where to start, I think was the quote. But once again, this is a court of law. So from a strictly legal standpoint, what does an appeal hinge on? How can he be successful, or what should he try at appeal?
Well, honestly, there's nothing that's glaring. The points that he raises, you could probably come up with 15, 20 points of tweaking and correcting, but the way the judge managed the case, he really did do a very good job, an extraordinary job. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And so that's just going to make an appeal harder. How you can get the appellate court to look at this from the point of view of Michelle Troconis when you don't get the jury to do it, it's very hard.
So you told us early on that you have a lot of confidence in Judge Kevin Randolph. He was pretty solid. That doesn't really leave a lot of obvious opportunity for that appeals process. And there is this motion he will make very soon, I'm assuming, to just get the judge to set aside that verdict.
Yeah, that's a pro forma. There's no way that's going to make any difference.
Yeah, that rarely works.
It works in some cases, but it's only when you really can't find any reasonable jury that could have concluded the way they did. And based on these summations, they do point to information that's in evidence.
And Judge was on top of things from the very beginning. He kept a very tight rein on the jurors and
on the prosecutors.
And on the prosecutors.
You know, so it isn't like this was a railroad.
Yeah. All right. Jim Bergen, Shipman and Goodwin, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your perspective.
Glad to help.
All right.